Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, now about that infamous anti-tariff ad that led to a suspension of Canada-U.S. trade talks. Ontario took out the ad. Donald Trump was furious over it. It used the voice of Ronald Reagan, who was a big-time free trader and against tariffs. Doug Ford speaking at the provincial parliament, Queen's Park in Toronto, a short time ago. Let's listen in.
Well, I'm not going to get into he said, back and forth. I don't think the people of Canada want that. I know one thing, we're united on getting a deal. I have asked them to focus on many areas, but especially on the auto sector, and I know he's doing his best to get that back to the table.
You don't want to correct the public record here? The Prime Minister says he had to apologize, and he said that he asked you specifically not to run the commercial.
Well, again, I'm not going to go back and forth. I had a different recollection of our conversation.
Oh, he's nervous.
People don't need that. They want to move forward, to get a deal, to protect jobs and protect the economy of Ontario and of Canada.
He's nervous. This guy is the same guy, by the way, who every chance he gets, he says, look, we're going to stick it to America. We're going to shut the power off to 1.4 million homes. We're never going to back down to America. We're never going to back down to Trump. I love Americans. We're going to falsely run an ad in America with $75 million of taxpayers' money. Oh, I hate America. We love Americans. I hate Trump. Oh, I just hope that Carney can find the best deal, but never back down. You know what? That kind of reminds me of being bipolar. Like, I think Doug Ford is a little bipolar. Look at his face. I know there's a big light on his big face, but doesn't he look a little extra ghosty? Doesn't he look a little extra pale? Maybe I'm looking into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into it. But he looks a little nervous. His eyes are a little bigger. He doesn't look as confident. I could be looking into it. I could just be looking for a reason to shit on him. But that's what I feel. That's what I feel.
He's lying about what he said.
No, again, I'm not going down that avenue. I know I've talked to him this morning through text message. We have a great relationship. We're focused on the same areas, and that's protecting Canadian jobs, Ontario jobs, the steel sector, the auto sector, life sciences, and manufacturing.
Are you able to share your recollection, Premier?
Again, I'm just not going to go down that avenue. I'm not jumping into that bear trap. We have a great relationship. I'll tell you one thing, what he did do. He called me from Asia a couple times and said, pull the ad. And I said I wasn't going to do it until we're going to pause the ad on Monday. And that's exactly what we did. It was 12.4 billion impressions around the world. And they talked about it on the Senate floor. I love the fact that 4 Republicans jumped over and voted against tariffs on Canada. So they were very effective. And they ended up getting rejuvenating the talks with Democrats and Republicans down in the U.S. that a tariff on Canada is a tax on American people.
What was the Prime Minister's tone when
he's bragging about how far and wide his ad went? That's insane. When he is single-handedly responsible, this ad is single-handedly responsible for cutting off all trade talks between Trump and Canada. That's a weird flex to try to be braggadocious about something that is so catastrophic. As a leader of a province, to affect federal jurisdiction is insane to me. It's insane. Like, how is this not being investigated? How is this legal for a provincial government to spend provinces' money on something that is up to the feds to do? Has anyone even looked into this? Like the logistics and the legalities of this? Like, is Ford even allowed to run anti-American or anti-tariffs when it's a federal jurisdiction? Am I missing something here? Can somebody maybe correct me down in the comments? Because I feel like that shouldn't be allowed to happen, right? Like even Danielle Smith, somebody who I've advocated to say, hey, you know what? I would like to see Danielle Smith just say, screw you, Canada, and screw you, Carney, screw you, federal government. We're just going to deal with America directly. But like, even though that's what I want, she hasn't done that yet. And now maybe I'm understanding why. because it's federal jurisdiction and she's the leader of a province, and that's conflicting. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right.
He asked you a couple of times to pull the ad. Was he personally angry with your actions?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't angry at all. I fully understand the position he's in. He's trying to talk to the president, but the president was going to give us a terrible deal, like they gave UK a terrible deal, gave Japan even a worse deal, in my opinion. And we weren't going to go down that rabbit hole of getting a terrible deal. I always say no deal is better than a bad deal, and that's what President Trump wants. He wants a terrible deal for Canadians. I take a different approach. I want the AMCAN fortress, American-Canadian fortress, that we can grow the pie, create more jobs, just like Ronald Reagan did. Jobs went up in a massive way when he signed the deal with Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, and we're asking to do the same thing. Tariffs do not work anywhere in the world. They especially don't work with your number one customer, and yes, they're our number one customer. So let's grow the pie, as I always say.
But do you think he should have apologized, or are you upset that he apologized?
Well, that's up to the Prime Minister. I'll tell you what I would do. I'd never apologize to Donald Trump. Donald Trump's trying to destroy our province, destroy our country, steal manufacturing jobs and auto sector jobs, steel jobs, aluminum jobs. The list keeps going on. I'll never apologize to President Trump, and I'm going to continue fighting for the people of Ontario and the people of Canada.
Did the Prime Minister give you a heads up that he was going to apologize?
No, he didn't. But that's his prerogative, right? I don't speak for the Prime Minister. I speak as the Premier of Ontario, and I'll never apologize to Donald Trump.
Okay, so right there, he admits that what he did is wrong. I don't speak for the Prime Minister. I don't speak for Canada, even though he didn't say that. That's kind of what he is implying. He doesn't speak for Canada or Canadians. He speaks for Ontario people only, yet he ran an ad that he knew would have repercussions not on just Ontario, but on an entire country. That's sabotage. Is that not sabotage? Is that not breaking his role as a premier where he affected something at the federal level? That's not his responsibility to do. It's not his responsibility to fix it or to affect it in any way. Should there not be repercussions for this? Am I missing something? I feel like I'm going fucking insane here. Can somebody please let me know in the comments if I'm going insane or not? Because I feel like what he did was wrong. He got caught, and the media is not talking about this. I think that's what's angering me the most. I feel like I have like a really good idea, and I'm not seeing the media even hint at all that my idea is even worthy of an idea at all. Like he's a provincial guy affecting federal stuff. Like I feel like that's a huge problem.
They put me on a stretching rack, I wouldn't apologize.
Does it show weakness?
No, it doesn't. That's, something the Prime Minister is doing the best he can for the country. He has the best interests of the country at heart, and he's trying to work with 13 different premiers across the board. We look forward to sitting down at an FMM conference, and we'll have a further discussion when all the premiers come together.
Last question.
Are you going to spend what's left of the budget from this commercial on a new commercial targeting the US?
No, not necessarily. Let's see what the budget brings forward. I'm confident that there's a lot of opportunities for everyone in the country, but especially here in Ontario, we're focused on the Ring of Fire, our energy policy, large-scale nuclear. We made the announcement of the SMRs last week, and we're going to continue making sure we create the environment and the conditions for companies to come and invest in Ontario.
All right, that's it. Thank you. Last question.
Is there any part of you that accepts that perhaps what Ontario did with the commercial may have led to some negative consequences for Canada?
Not at all. It gave us strength, if anything. You roll over with President Trump. We've seen what President Trump does. He smells weakness, he'll latch on you like a pit bull. And we should never, ever show weakness with President Trump. We're his number one customer. He needs us as much as we need them. And that's why we need to put this aside and start getting a good deal for Canada and the U.S.
But then why not continue running the commercial? Pulling the commercial shows weakness. Why not continue?
Last question.
Oh, that's a good one. If you're saying that you would never back down and never apologize because it shows weakness and we can never show our weakness, then why are you pulling the ad? That's freaking phenomenal.
President Trump wanted me to pull it one day, and I took 3 more days, and we paused it to get back to the table. It was very, very effective. I've been getting endless calls from a lot of people down in the U.S. and right across our country to say, way to go, keep going, and we'll never stop fighting for Ontario and Canadian jobs. But thanks,
Is it time for David Ritchie to resign?
That reporter freaking destroyed him, dude. Oh, that's so funny. I love that so much. He got caught. That is so freaking funny. Oh my goodness. All right. We got one more clip here to take a look at. Melanie Jolie gets absolutely destroyed by Raquel Dancho. I love this so much. Here we go.
Have to respond. So on the commercially sensitive redactions, now on the SIF agreement for Nexstar, the jobs guarantee of 2,500 was not redacted. So it stands to reason that it wouldn't be redacted, wouldn't be commercially sensitive under a different SIF agreement. Surely you can tell us if there was a 3,000 person jobs guarantee for Brampton, and that's not commercially sensitive information. So it is concerning to me that you're not committing that there was a jobs guarantee for the Brampton
that's
facility.
not what I'm saying.
So you're saying that there is...
I'm saying that all the plants were linked and all the contracts are linked. So you will be able to see it when we will be producing.
But if there wasn't a jobs guarantee of 3,000 people at Brampton, which is the whole reason you're here, then how is it that you're tying all of the money to a jobs guarantee that may or may not exist? You should be able to tell us if there is a jobs guarantee for the 3,000 jobs in Brampton.
I think you're falling into the trap of trying to find a problem where there's none.
Well, the problem is that 3,000 people were laid off,
the government
and your
was trying
government
to
committed
do
thousands, millions, and billions, in fact, of dollars.
Well, MP Dancho,
and we're trying
I don't
to
know whether you want this to be a monologue or you want me to appear. Because
the question
if you
I'm
want
asking
this
you
to
is
be a
very
monologue,
clear.
I don't need to be here.
Colleagues, I'm going to pause us again for a moment.
I don't need to be here is what she said. I don't need to be here.
This to be a monologue. I don't need to be here.
Colleagues,
That's a phenomenal observation, Melanie Jolie. You don't need to. You actually don't need to be there. Yeah, we would prefer it if you weren't there, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe that was mean. Maybe it's not. All right. Let me know what you guys think down below about those clips. That's funny. That's funny stuff.